I'm a huge sauna fan. I'm going to start with that immediately. It's a part of our way of eliminating out of the body. Sweat is an elimination tool. You can make sure that your bedtime is the same time every single night. The human contact of going on a date, giving your partner a hug or cuddling your friend or whatever it is so much more important for your well-being.
This is Catch-Ups in My Kitchen, the catch-up you need every week in order to look, feel and be the best version of yourself. Join me in my kitchen every week as I speak to a new guest about all things food, health and wellness. Whether it's a specialist in their field, an inspiring story, or just a big girly catch-up full of all the recommendations, tips and advice. In my kitchen, we talk about it all. Hey guys, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Catch-Ups in My Kitchen with me, Georgia Simmons, host of the podcast. This week in my kitchen, I am joined by Eleanor Hoath, and we are doing a huge, big wellness debunking. We are going through biohacking, red light therapy, saunas, castor oil patches, the carnivore diet, you name all the wellness trends, we touch on it. Eleanor is honestly so well-knowledged on all things nutrition. She's worked at Healf. She's now working at Boncharge, where they do amazing red lights. And she just had so much information on all these topics. So this is your go-to for understanding more about the wellness trends. You're going to love this episode. I loved it. It's what all us wellness girls want to hear. So without further ado, let's go and meet Eleanor in the kitchen. Eleanor, welcome to my kitchen. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's so nice to have you here.
I know, thank you so much for having me. I've been wanting to come on and talk about everything for such a long time.
We're going to have the biggest wellness chit chat.
It's going to be great. It's going to sound like us having a good old stomp and a matcha. It's going to be great.
I know, honestly amazing. Do you mind giving a little elevator pitch for those who don't know who you are and what you do?
I'm Eleanor Hoath. I'm a registered nutritional therapist by background, but I now have moved more into the content side of things. So previously had a clinical background working with clients on a one-to-one basis, and I've taken all of that clinical expertise from seeing those clients to start applying it to creating content that kind of demystifies and debunks the wellness industry. I'm the editor of a brand called Healf, director of content at a company called Boncharge, and also a contributing voice at the magazine Hip and Healthy.
Love it. I mean, you're busy. You're busy. But also the wellness world does need debunking.
It does.
It can be confusing, which is what we're going to do today. We're going to have a big old debunk session, which I can't wait for.
It's my favourite thing to do because there's so many false things out there. And also in an era of social media, there is so much noise, and it's like, well, that could work for you, but here's the caveat, and that's my job, is to kind of get that out there.
Yeah, I love it. So before we get into that, we have a quick fire round.
Oh, okay.
About all things food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what's your favourite restaurant in London?
Oh, either Wild by Tart at Eccleston Yard.
Great shout. No one said
good.
that.
Do you know why I love it? My thing with food is that I love getting people that I love together and just sharing plates. Yeah. And we've done it 2 years in a row for my birthday. I've just got all my girlfriends together and we've sat there and I've gone, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? We all kind of have similar taste. They are incredible at making sure that it fits my dietary requirement because I'm allergic to dairy. And we all just sit there and pick at it, bread, pita, olives. Amazing.
Heaven.
And my other favourite for the exact same reason, I always get the pronunciation wrong, is bubbler.
Yeah, agree. So good.
And the Spitalfield one has a set menu, so that's quite easy when I just want to go and knit and natter with my friends.
Yeah.
But then the Soho one, same thing. Just order loads of food and just share it. It's so
good. I love that kind of cuisine. The dips and the breads and the yum.
Give me some falafel, some hummus and a flatbread and I'm very happy.
I'm very happy. Maybe a bit of aubergine on the side.
Yeah, a creamy aubergine and some smashed cucumber as well.
Done.
Very happy. Very easily pleased.
Very easily pleased. Okay, what's your go-to Deliveroo?
Oh, go-to Deliveroo. I'm not really someone that has a naughty Deliveroo. I'd normally go for a salad.
Yeah.
Also because in London there's just so many choices.
Yeah.
I would go for maybe an Urban Greens tray or one of their plates.
Tried Urban Greens.
Love. Absolutely love. Or I would go for, I'm going to be really out there, and sometimes when my sister comes I do go for a Nando's.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't expect you to say that.
Do you know what it is? I think it's because it's just very simple.
Yeah.
I don't have it very spicy. You can have some sweet potato wedges with it and some veg. And it's just it's done the job.
Yeah, it's clean.
It's easy.
Yeah, as a takeaway can be, it's a clean one.
But 9 times out of 10, if I'm ordering a delivery for a solo night in, it's like a yummy salad, like all the colour and something chocolatey to go with.
Delicious.
Yes.
Okay, what is your hangover meal?
Ooh, very good question. My brain would go for something like a really nice, like a brunch option. I love going for brunch with my friends the day after a night out, because I think deep, like chat about the night before, it's all really fun. I'd probably go anything like eggs, avocado, and smoked salmon, which I know sounds like the worst thing ever when you're probably just like craving.
Eggs hit the spot though.
It does. And like, it sounds awful when you're craving. Probably most people are like, oh God, no, I just have like something salty like a McDonald's or something.
Yeah.
But for me, that's like, okay, this is just going to repair me a little bit.
Yeah.
Whack some electrolytes in a water bottle.
Yeah, essential.
And I'm good.
Yeah.
And a matcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Electrolytes key.
Yeah.
Key.
Always. Because the alcohol dehydrates you, so I'm rehydrating with the electrolytes, and then I will need a bit of energy from the matcha.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go coffee because that's going to dehydrate me further.
Completely.
This is
she's
my
worked
logic.
it out. She's really worked this one out. I love it.
And on that note, I'm going to have some matcha.
Yeah, have some matcha. What is your favourite coffee shop or matcha spot?
Oh, I am a matcha person. I do love teas.
Went there this morning. Unreal.
So good.
So good.
It was actually my friend who introduced me to it, because she was telling me all about the different smoothies and juices that they do. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm fascinated. And I did a big walk in the sun and went and got a matcha from there. So love those.
The vanilla one.
The vanilla one's really good. I had the spirulina matcha.
Oh.
Which was really weird because it like kind of looked like the sea. It was like blue at the bottom and then green on the way up.
Oh.
Which was quite cool.
Yeah, cool.
I do love a good flat white as well.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite coffee shop for a proper coffee? Maybe Daku.
I haven't heard of that.
So there's one in High Street, Kensington. They also do the most incredible matcha, and they serve it in this gorgeous like glass jar.
Oh, okay, that sounds a bit of me.
Yeah, and like I'll go there just for the aesthetic.
Yeah.
So good. And
anything a bit
amazing.
extra, I'm like, pay the extra bit
really
for that.
good.
Yeah,
so
love that,
let's go with that.
Which food for you is a complete no-no?
Dairy, but purely because I'm allergic to it.
Yeah.
I think I have quite a balanced view with food, so that there's nothing that I'm like, I won't eat that just because it's unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in moderation, but big fan no for dairy.
Dairy is a
very
no-no.
allergic.
And what's your favourite dish to cook at home?
I'm gonna go like a gnocchi.
Oh, do you homemade gnocchi?
I wish I could.
Okay, I was gonna say, you're gonna really impress me now.
No, I really wish I could. I love making. There's a brand that I really like. I can't remember the name of it now. It's like Sunny and something.
Yeah.
And they do this spinach gnocchi. And it's really easy and quick. It takes me literally 10 minutes to make it. And I literally do like fry the gnocchi, some rocket, some like sun-dried tomatoes, a sprinkle of like some dairy-free feta cheese or something like that. And it just makes me think I'm on holiday.
Yeah,
it's perfect, like on the balcony Friday evening. Lovely.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very
Love
nice.
that one.
Maybe some salmon on top, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Love it. Delicious. Delicious. So this is Wellness 101, where we are getting the truths and we're getting the false, and we're going to get it all out there.
Lovely.
So the first one I want to talk about is sauna.
Oh, okay.
And the power of a sauna, if it's good, if it's bad, and like kind of sweating it out.
Yeah, nice. I'm a huge sauna fan. I'm going to start with that immediately.
Yeah, so am I, so I'm pleased to hear you are.
It's so good. I think there's a lot of, again, just like everything, there's a lot of noise out there with what is right and what's wrong with saunaing. I think realistically, it's a part of our way of eliminating out of the body. Sweat is an elimination tool. And we hear this jargon around like sauna is for detox. No, your organs are for detoxing. The sweat part is to eliminate what your organs have detoxed. And I think that's something that I always try and explain to people. In the same way that we go to the bathroom to eliminate, that is also what sweat is doing. So I love going to a sauna. I try and go like 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And I've made it part of my like well-being ritual now. It's not just about like I go to the gym and then I just sit in the sauna for a bit and then that's me done. I dry body brush before I get in the sauna to get my blood circulation going. I take my Kindle in there now because books would disintegrate in the sauna.
I tried it. They do.
Yeah, it's so bad. Kindle, on the other hand, fantastic. Doesn't melt in the sauna. So I take my sauna in there. I put my legs up the wall if I can, if there's no one else in there. And I've just made it part of like a ritual. And at the start of this year, I told myself I'm going to do one thing for my well-being every single day. It could be the tiniest thing, like going to get myself a matcha. but that is part of it. And it's just something that makes me feel good. So yeah.
I love a sauna as well. And I think I find it harder to stick to in the summer just because it's warmer and like I feel like I'm more time short. But I went on, was it Monday or Tuesday? And I was like, oh my God, I've missed this.
Yeah. The other thing is as well that I find with that, I was actually talking to someone the other day about this who owns a sauna company. And he was saying the thing is with it is that we think that the sweat that we do when we're in the sun versus the sauna is very different. Realistically, when we're sweating, when we're outside in the sun, we're very like hot, flustered. We've probably got clothes on. The sweat's not coming off the body. Whereas when we're going to a sauna, you're intentionally sitting there to get rid of that waste.
Yeah.
So there's that element of it. And then straight away, we're showering afterwards. And it's also more mindful. And also the sauna is so much warmer than it is outside.
Completely.
So your body temperature doesn't reach the same. And that's the beauty of a sauna, is to get your body temperature up to like a kind of uncomfortable kind of level. It's like hormetic stress is what they call it, when you get your body to a high enough temperature that it starts to do those things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I am a big fan. I also feel like sometimes we think, oh, I haven't got time. But actually like apparently 15 minutes is like enough.
100%.
Like, and that's not long.
Yeah. And also, as I say, with the whole temperature thing, it's not really about how long you spend in it. It's more about what you're doing when you're there. I was in the sauna the other day and I took my gua sha in with me because I had so much like stagnation and my glands just felt awful. And I was just sat there kind of like gua sha-ing while I was in there. And I was like, I'm biohacking, so to speak, trying to get my, habit stack lots of different things on top of each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, 15 minutes can be incredible, but so can an hour. It just depends on your reason for doing it and fitting it into your time and day whenever you possibly can.
Yeah, no, completely. So another thing I want to talk about is red light therapy.
Oh, another big favourite of mine.
Same. We're starting with the good ones.
Yeah.
Because I am obsessed with my current body mask.
Lovely.
I got it in lockdown, so quite a while ago.
Yeah.
And I am religious with it. Well, as religious as one can be, let's be real.
When it's kind of like by the bed and you kind of go, oh, need to do that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, completely. So your thoughts on it and why it's good or bad?
Yeah. So the first thing I want to say is, and kind of another debunk here, is there actually are 3 different types of red light. And it links very closely to what we were just saying about the sauna situation. Because people, when I speak to them, I say like, oh, red light therapy, they immediately go, oh yeah, I do that at the gym. I go to an infrared sauna. Now, infrared sauna is very different to red light therapy. So the visible red light that you would get is the kind of light that you have for what they kind of quote unquote say reducing aging. That's when you see like red light panels. That's when you see things that are very, going to be there to support your longevity and your cellular like aging. Then you've got near infrared. Now this goes a lot deeper. This goes deeper into the muscles, into the tissues. It's completely different to what you might be getting from using a panel, for example. And then there's far infrared, which is when you are in a sauna, and that's just being used to heat your body temperature. So it's quite different when people say, oh, I do an infrared sauna. That's not the same as the red light mask that you're putting on your skin or the red light panel that you're sitting in front of. They do very different things.
Interesting.
So that's my first thing I wanted to get across.
Yeah, because obviously the infrared sauna, like you're getting warm.
Yeah.
But like I'm not getting warm with it on my face.
Exactly. And that's because the light that you're having on your face, or I also have like a Boncharge small block that I put on my muscles when I get achy, things like that, that's penetrating into the skin and acting on a cellular level, getting to the tissues, getting to the muscles. Whereas the like far infrared that's just in your sauna isn't doing that same thing.
Interesting, but they're all good for different things.
Absolutely. And I try and use, I'm obsessed with my red light mask. I started using red light originally because I had chronic acne when I was younger and I was left with so much scarring, and I was using the red light mask to kind of help with rebuilding the skin cells and just like repopulating the skin. So that was why I got introduced to it. And then I started like understanding about red light beds and red light panels and all these different things. And more recently, the more research that I'm doing, and now that I'm working so closely with Boncharge, is understanding how the red light has such an impact on your sleep-wake cycle. So we have the pineal gland, which is just at the top of the head. That's activated by red light. We have the vagus nerve, which people always think about from like calming, resting, digesting. That's activated by red light. So there's so many different purposes and uses that we should be using it for.
So when do you use your red light mask? Would you use it? Because I will use it before I go to bed.
Yes. So I tend to use the red light mask in the evening, but that's purely because it's kind of part of my wind down routine.
Yeah.
I see my beauty beauty routine as being red light mask.
Yeah.
But then my red light panel, I would use that in the morning because it's resetting my circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously like red light glasses, which I'd use in the evening to block the blue light. So many different things.
It's so good though. Like I remember BioWell downstairs, they have the red light like beds.
Yes.
And they're
them.
amazing. I remember
good.
like when I was doing marathon training, I was in there all the time because of inflammation.
Yeah.
And it's so good. And honestly, you're led there thinking, what a waste of my time. I'm like not feeling anything. They always say keep your eyes open because like it's really good for your eyes and your eyesight and your eye health. And I'm like, oh, this is like I'm not feeling anything. It's like 20 minutes and it's so boring. But the way you feel,
oh, it's incredible.
So good.
And also it's one of those things that it's like, it's cumulative, right? The more you do it, the more you notice the difference. And it's like, it becomes a habit for that reason. I had a really bad back injury and was seeing a physio who would shine a red light on my back while he was doing like manipulation on my back. And then I started working with a company called Wellness by Resolve, which is actually in Birmingham, and they have started using red light beds and red light panels. And I'd go there and the difference I'd feel from an energy perspective was incredible. And then from like a gut health perspective and female hormones, it just calmed my body down, kind of gave my body that kickstart when I needed it. It, you know, it's very powerful when it's used consistently and in the right way.
Yeah, completely. And I do think that like the red light you can get in treatments and like outside is a lot more powerful than what you can get at home. So I remember my mum bought a red light mask recently. She's like, oh, can I use it twice a day? I was like, yeah, it's like not going to be as strong as like what you could get in like with a facialist or at BioWell, or that's gonna be a lot stronger.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, so interesting.
And the other thing is as well is like remembering like how I always say to people when you're buying a red light, or if you're buying, even going back to what we were saying about saunas, whenever you're buying them, look at the wattage of the bulb. Like obviously the higher it is, things like that is going to make much more of an impact and difference. And like how many bulbs does this mask have, or how many bulbs does this red light panel have? Because quite often we see them and we're like, oh yeah, red light, that's fine. Someone told me the other day they bought one like the middle aisle of Aldi or something. And I thought that's not going to be very strong, is it?
No.
You know, just looking at those things, and sometimes they come at a price, but there's a reason that they are that price.
So true.
And my facialist, very similar to what your mum said, I had like the full red light panel when I go for a facial, and then maintenance is using my Boncharge light, like things like that. It's incredible. Yeah,
no, so good. So you've touched on a few like biohacking things you do, like in the sauna, gua sha, dry brush, or habit stacking as well. But there are some like extreme biohackers out there, like, you know, Brian Johnson, Kayla, what's her surname? Bart's Lentz,
I think it
Bart's
is.
Lentz. I mean, they are extreme.
Yeah.
So let's touch on like what a biohacker even is to start with.
That's a good question, because I suppose by definition, biohacker is like biological hacker.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of
so
how I
you're
tell
hacking
myself.
your biological aging process.
Yeah, exactly. However, I think now the word is being used in multiple different ways. I even said it. I was like, oh, I biohack that. But actually it's kind of like hacking your wellness, I think now.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like people like Brian Johnson and Kayla, they are biohackers. They are people that are looking to optimize and push to extreme levels in order to biohack their well-being and their wellness. And then you have other people that implement biohacking things such as wearables. I wear an Oura ring. That doesn't make me a biohacker, but it's a biohacking tool.
Right.
So I think that's how I try and differentiate it. But yeah, there are some pretty extreme people in this world.
Yeah, there really, really are.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think some people look at them and be like, oh my God, this whole wellness world has gone crazy.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, with my industry, I'm kind of in with the content and editorial side of things. I very often end up kind of interviewing these people or understanding more about the science of what they do, because it's so important. And when I do that, I'm always like, gosh, this is very far and very extreme. And then when I speak to people who are the opposite end of the spectrum, you know, people who aren't really into their wellness, they're like, they're absolutely nuts. I'm like, but I think it's also a scale. You've got people that don't do anything in the wellness world all the way up to Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
Like there's no, you know, everyone's on their own journey of wellness, and that's what's important.
So like, what do you take from some of these biohackers?
Consistency is key, I would say.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Like we can't just expect to do one red light therapy and we're going to reverse our age by tenfold.
Yeah.
We also can't be, you know, taking a supplement for a week and expect that it's going to work. You have to give these things time and be consistent. But also from the biohacking side, I think often these things are led by tech and led by data, which I find very insightful and very helpful. You know, when I work with clients, I often say, look, this is what your blood test is saying. That's why we need to do this. And it kind of gives you that reaffirmation of like, oh yeah, no, this is actually what's going on. But equally, how do you feel? Like, are you feeling energized? Are you feeling well? That's all really important as well. It doesn't have to always be, well, the paperwork says this, or my Whoop says that, or my aura says that. You know, you have to look at it like holistically as well.
Yeah, and like tune into yourself and be like, how am I doing? I remember Healf did a really interesting post where I was like, why are biohackers single? And
that was a really great post.
It was so good. But I think that kind of really like what they were touching on then is like the balance element.
Completely.
Of like, they are extremists, and like we can all take a leaf out of their book in terms of things that we can do to make ourselves biologically younger or feel better or age at a slower rate.
Yeah.
But like within reason. I know we've chatted a lot in the past about like balance in the wellness world. So like, what does balance look like for you?
I hate to say it, but I am just 80-20. I think everyone in this industry, especially nutritional therapists and naturopaths and nutritionists, they will always say, oh, 80-20, 80-20. But I genuinely mean it. As we were saying about like the hangover meal, I will go out and have the best time with my friends, dancing on the table, like margarita, lovely.
Yeah.
But the next morning, I'm probably going to have my normal breakfast. I find that's the way that I feel my best.
Yeah.
And just touching on what you said about the whole like biohacker single thing, I think it's really interesting. And that was such a controversial post. I remember being in the office the day that everyone was talking about doing it. And it's that thing of like, is it bad to say this? But actually, the reality of that post and why it hit so many people was like, you can make sure that your bedtime is the same time every single night, but the human contact of going on a date or giving your partner a hug or cuddling your friend or whatever it is so much more important for your well-being.
Yeah.
It's so much more important.
Completely.
And we forget about that. We really, really do. So yeah.
And it's more like rigidness versus happiness.
Yes, exactly.
And like, let's say you meet someone and their bedtime's like half an hour later than yours. Well, let's just meet in the middle rather than making a massive song and dance about it and going to it early and arguing, and like, don't be so rigid. And I think that's just in life. Like, I think my balance is like, I'm a massive planner and can be rigid in my health, but I plan for those spontaneity moments and those moments of like let loose. That's just blocked out. So there's no pressure what I do, because like I've just let myself have that as like some time, some fun, some like enjoy, and then you can get back into your ritual and your routine. But like, there's balance somewhere.
Exactly. And I think even with, you know, with the whole like bedtime thing, it's like, okay, well, I'll go to bed earlier tomorrow. It's fine. And, you know, if I'm seeing a partner or I'm seeing a friend, it's like, well, that's fine. Next week, I won't. Like, you know, I had a very, very chaotic week last week, and it was literally every single evening was something on, whether that was work related or seeing friends, because it was the only time I could. This week, I've kind of gone, I'm really tired from doing that. And I went to a festival and like, it was a lot. And I went, this week I'm doing nothing. I'm doing absolutely nothing. And I'm cooking at home. I'm having juices. I'm having smoothies. I feel better for doing that. But then this weekend comes, back to socializing. And that's where you find the balance in it. I think there's this whole thing of like, you're healthy or you're not. Yeah. And I just don't think that is the way at all.
No, I agree. And then like, when you're out socializing and you're trying to be your healthiest version, you end up putting pressure on yourself and the other people around you. And like, they're not having fun because you're not having fun. And you're not having fun because you're so stressed about trying to be healthy. And it's this really vicious cycle. And it's like, that's really not healthy, actually.
I also find as well, it's something that we automatically fall into when we first enter our wellness journey. So I think back to myself, like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I was quite unwell. The reason I kind of got into this world is because I had so many health conditions and problems that I had no idea how to deal with. And then when I realized like I need to be healthier, I went so far the other way that I like banned myself from eating sugar, stopped myself ever having alcohol. Like I just went so far. And then it got to a point that I'd go out with my friends and be sat there going, oh, like they don't have kombucha on the menu. I can't have anything. I just have some water. And my friends would be like, but Elle, what about like joy of life and things like that? And it's only now that, you know, I'll go out and order a donut and my friends are like, oh, you do that now? And I'm like, yeah, I found the balance. And it's taken such a long time to do it. But once you find that balance and whatever, then you're almost a case of, it just becomes natural. The funniest story I ever had was my friend Mia, who is at Healf. when we got introduced to each other, we had like a meeting put in our diary because it was like meeting everyone in the team. And she came up to me and she was like, I've been told that I need to have a meeting with you because, you know, we might get on. And I thought, okay, yeah, sure. Like, I'm really open.
Yeah.
And we went and had a coffee, and within 10 minutes, we realized we were going to be really good friends, and we are best friends now. But she said when she first met me, she was like, I don't want to go for a coffee with her because she's going to be a boring nutritionist. And within 10 minutes, I think we'd like ordered a matcha. We started talking about what we were up to at the weekend, and we'd probably booked a flight to go back to California. And it was literally just like, we laugh about it now that we both thought like we will never get on. Yeah. But that is a prime example of like the portrayal that if you're in this world, you're boring, you eat your vegetables and blah, blah, blah. And you go to bed at 8 p.m. That is really not the case.
No, not at all. And like, I was away recently, and like, everyone was like, oh, you do have fun. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, you can do both.
Yeah, you can.
Like, and it's important to do both.
And going back to the biohacking thing, you find your things that work. You know, I will go out and have a lovely time, but you better believe that my magnesium supplement is going down before I go to bed.
100%.
Like, it's those little hacks, and like my electrolytes are by the side of my bed. Yeah. Like, it's those little things that I've realized, especially when you're young and you want to be living your life. Yeah. Those are how, you know, and they're the things I teach to my clients who are a similar age to me or younger. Yeah. I'm like, that's fine. Like, go and have fun with your friends, but then do this when you get home. Or that's fine if you know you're going to be out late drinking, have a high protein dinner before you go. Just little things like that.
Completely. Yeah. And then like have your greens, like have your milk thistle to help you detox. Like, what are you doing? Like, support yourself in other ways when you're, and also like when you're on your own, like just like really dive a bit deeper and like being that extra healthier than when you're out and about with your friends and like get your hair down and like
100%. And like I live with a herbalist, so you can imagine our house, like there's water filters, there's organic, there's like, and that's like, this is our haven. We know what's going on here. We know how pure and clean and whatever it is. So when we go outside, if I want to go and get a matcha with a seed oil milk, because this is such a problem, that I can do that because all my milks at home are replenished and they don't have seed oils in. You know, it's that kind of thing.
Completely. So, okay, on that, thoughts on the whole milk thing? Because like I've touched on this with people before, and like I got to the point where like, again, all my milk's replenished in the house.
So good.
But again, when you go out and like you're with someone and they're like, oh, do you want to grab a coffee? And you're like, yeah. And you like pop into a random coffee shop and all they have is oat milk or almond
sweeted with all the seed oils and the...
I'm like, I'm not enjoying that almond cappuccino because it tastes like grainy and sweet and horrible.
It's also kind of like claggy
100%.
I don't want that.
No. And also there's if I look at the back of Almond Outpro, it's like got a load of ingredients in it too. And so I'm like, well, I may as well have the Oatly because I'll number one enjoy it more, and number two, I think they're both as bad.
So my thing with it is like, it's the enjoyment element of it. As I said, when I'm at home, if I'm making my matcha, making my coffee, my tea, whatever, I know what's going into it. When I go out, I don't know what milk they're using. And, you know, I am the person that will sometimes kind of like look behind to see like, oh, what milks they're using. But that's not always because I'm avoiding the ingredients. It's also because, am I going to enjoy that coffee? Is it worth it, so to speak?
Yeah.
And, you know, they say pick your poison. I say the dose is the poison. If you're going to have it every single day, it's probably not the best for you. But then also, what's the rest of your diet like? If you're someone that is eating a very highly fatty, unhealthy, quote unquote, like diet, and then having all the seed oils and all the inflammatory things, then of course it's not going to be great for you. If you're living a very, you know, healthy, balanced lifestyle, and every Sunday you and your boyfriend go to Gales to get an oat flat white, that's fine. Yeah. Because the quality time with you and your boyfriend walking to Gales to get the oat flat white is more important. You know, it's about finding that happy balance. And, you know, I won't lie, I will be like, oh yeah, it's got seed oils in it. Like, that's really annoying. Yeah. But equally so is seeing my friend and making sure that I haven't just sat there and had a bottle of water.
Completely agree. Do you use the Rude Health Barista, the pink one?
The Rude Health Barista.
It's a blend of almond and oat.
Oh, I've not heard of that one.
Yeah, but it's like, it froths in a coffee, and like only a few. So if I'm going out for a coffee, Grind, they do the pink barista.
Okay.
And Hagen do the yellow almond, organic almond, which again froths quite well in coffee.
Yeah, that's good. Daku, who I mentioned earlier, they also use all Rude Health milks as well. Yeah. At home, I use Plenish, and there's not that many coffee shops that use Plenish, probably because it's a higher price point. But my big hack to make your Plenish milk frothy, because they do have the barista ones, but they have added a few sweeteners into it, which I don't love. Put a scoop of collagen in your milk, because the amino acid profile of the collagen, because it's like a structural thing, makes it frothy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah. So like you could buy like almond milk and put like a teaspoon is literally all you need, because it's the structure of the actual proteins. That's what makes it frothy. Sometimes it's too frothy that like my blender will explode.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, it's the best thing ever.
That is, I'm going to try that. That's very, very exciting. So something you talk a lot about on socials is green time before screen time.
Yes.
And a lot of people like have jumped on this, and I'm like, can we talk about this, please?
100%.
Sorry, you've like got a little phrase going.
I have, and I trademarked it as well, because I trademarked it.
This is so exciting. So talk about it.
So it's actually started in the pandemic, because I was at home just like everybody else on my laptop all day, every day. All we could do was look at screens, right? So, and I was living with my parents at the time, and the way that I would basically start every morning was going outside for a walk. And well, my parents live, there's like massive loads of fields and stuff like that. So I would go and just like joke and be like, right, I'm going to get my green time. And my mum and dad would be like, okay, yeah, cool, like have fun, like weirdo. And I'd go get my green time, and then I would literally spend the whole day on my laptop. I was writing essays, articles all day, like staring at it. And then it just kind of naturally evolved. And one day I just posted on socials, like going to get my green time before screen time. And my friend replied like, that's a cool phrase. And I was like, it is quite a cool phrase. And then I just started doing it. I started hashtagging every time I went. And then the more I did it through the pandemic, more people like caught onto it. And then it just, it started to grow. And then I moved to London, and then it was like, oh God, I need to find a park to go and do green time before screen time in. So then I went and found a park, and every time I would do it, I would just post green time before screen time, green time before screen time. And yeah, it's kind of just caught on really.
It's so good.
And I went and
I love it.
I've got caps that say it, like it's just fun. But the premise of it is, now that I understand the science, is that going back to the pineal gland in between your eyebrows, when you expose that area to sunlight in the morning, it resets your circadian rhythm. So I always advise people, if you are going to go and get your green time before screen time in the morning, do it without a cap, do it without sunglasses, expose yourself to the sun, because it resets your circadian rhythm, which means that naturally when you reset it, your body clock then adjusts throughout the day. And then by the time you get to bedtime, naturally your body will say it's time for bed. So a good night's sleep starts in the morning, and realistically it starts with green time before screen time.
Oh my God,
there
I
you
love
go.
that. But that feeling when you've been staring at your laptop all day, and then that minute when you go out and you're like, I needed it so much.
Well, my current dilemma that I have is, so the company that I'm working with now, they're all in Australia. So when I'm in the UK, my calls start from like 7 a.m.
Oh.
So I'm not getting my green time before screen time at 5 a.m. in the morning. But what I am doing is like between the calls, I go and stand on my balcony and like just look up
me.
and be like, right, okay, yeah, reset the circadian rhythm. And then I'll go afterwards. And then it almost feels as if I completely restart the day again.
You have 2 days in one.
Realistically, yeah. And I have to do my exercise in that time as well.
Oh my gosh.
So it's great, because it we forget how important natural light is. And especially for females, males, their hormones, it's a 24-hour cycle. For women, it's like a 28 to 32, depending on how long your cycle is. So using daylight to like wake your body up and reset your circadian rhythm is so, so important.
No, that's so good. I always, like when I take the dog out, I'm always like, get off your phone and just walk.
Yeah.
And I'm really bad at doing that sometimes.
It's really difficult. And something else I've tried to start doing was, when I go for a walk, just not do anything, like not listen to anything. Like I would just put my phone in like my crossbody and put it on airplane mode, and I'd have my phone with me just in case I needed it. But I would just go and literally just look. And I love walking down the river, and I'll just walk and be like, oh yeah, like that's nice, and oh, there's a dog there, and like just being so present, because we never are anymore. We've always got some kind of stimulation going on, whether it's a notification from work or it's your mum calling or something. We're never just completely without distraction. And even our way of winding down in the evening is like staring at a screen. So sometimes just going for a walk and completely switching off is really kind of a reminder of what you need. And that was really highlighted to me. I did one of those unplugged cabins.
Oh my gosh, how was that?
I did it completely by myself, and I went for 3 days.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was quite intense.
I would have struggled with that.
Do you know what? The first day that I got there, it made me realize how addicted we are to our phones, because you lock your phone away as soon as you get there. And I remember I love like creative things as kind of ways to wind down, like painting and stuff. And I took some paints with me, and I was sat outside painting. It was gorgeous weather, and I was sat outside painting, and I just kept reaching for my phone that was not even there. And I thought, this is really problematic. So I then, when I got back, made a conscious effort to just like not be on it. And now on like a Saturday morning, I'll go for a walk and take my Kindle with me, but not my phone. Because I'm like, I'll just take my Kindle, go and sit in a coffee shop, read my book, and just be like present and not necessarily constantly like just scrolling. We just doom scroll for the sake of doom scrolling.
Yeah.
It's so unnecessary.
It's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
God, that's so good of you to even do that. I would feel like, I remember going on a walk, my phone was on 1%, and I was like,
what happened? It feels like someone's chopped your arm off.
Yeah, I'm like, what happened? Like, I am uncontactable.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's so crazy though, because it wasn't until I did that I realized how much of a problem it actually was. And I think now looking back at it, I would probably book in once a year.
Yeah.
As that way of reminding me. Because also the other thing that I did, and I've told so many people this and I think it's a bit nuts, but I used it as therapy. Because when I was away, if a thought came into my head, I had no one to talk to. I was just by myself. So I would kind of just be like, Elle, okay, why are we thinking that? Why are we feeling that way? I unpacked so much. And I was like walking through the fields, like like talking to the cows, basically, being like, yeah, that's why you feel that way. And it was so freeing.
3 days.
3 days. Whereas normally if you had a horrible mind thought, you'd go on your phone, open TikTok, like cat video, like whatever.
Yeah.
No, you're forced to like deal with it. And so much has changed on the back of me doing that trip, because I was like, I've come back with like a whole new mindset of things.
Yeah.
So unplugged cabins, they originally designed it to like disconnect, reconnect. So you'd go with a partner or a friend. And I kind of said, no, I reconnected with myself. I didn't reconnect with anyone. Like, yeah, I'd do it once a year.
That is wild. What else did you do? I'm like, what did you do when you haven't got your phone
Well,
on
they
you?
give you
a terrible thought to even think.
Well, this is the thing. They give you this little radio. So I had to like dial up to try and find like Radio 1, Classic FM. So my day was shaped by what was on the radio. So I'd wake up in the morning, I'd go for a really, really long walk. And also you literally have a compass and a map.
Oh my God, it's like, I was having to get me out of here.
Literally. And I remember the first day I was like, okay. And I like literally used my phone to get anywhere. Like everyone does these days. So I'd go for a really long walk. I'd come back. I'd put Greg James on, listening to Radio 1, make myself a lovely breakfast. And then... So
they provide you with food? Do you have to buy your food?
Took my own food with me.
Bring your food
but
with you.
You've got a kitchen, so
yeah,
would do that. I was very lucky. The weather was gorgeous. So I would do that. And then I'd sit outside and maybe paint for a few hours. I had the car with me, so I would maybe like drive out somewhere. But then it made me realize how much we depend on our phone. No Apple Pay.
Oh my gosh, of course.
And I got there and was like, I don't have my purse with me. Back to the place I go, get my purse, parked somewhere, pay by phone, don't have my phone.
Oh my gosh.
Just little things. It made me realize that, oh my goodness, I didn't even think about that. So I do that. And then in the evenings, I'd like come home, make myself gnocchi, lovely meal, make myself a really nice dinner, read a book. I'm very much into rom-coms when it comes to reading, because I find it an escape. Read a rom-com, watch the sun go down, and paint.
Oh God, how wholesome.
It was so
lovely.
wholesome. My parents, when I said I'm going by myself, they were like, are you sure? Like, are you going to be all right? And I was like, probably not. The first day I was like, like, this is bad. Like, you are going to spiral. By day 2, I was like, this is so freeing. Yeah. And by the time I got back to London, I almost didn't want my phone ever again.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
highly recommend. Go to Unplugged.
Yeah, okay, I love that. So next I want to discuss supplements versus over supplementation, because I had Rian on the podcast recently and it was amazing and refreshing speaking to her. She's so good.
And Arta is just fantastic, isn't it?
Fantastic. And I love speaking to her because they're very like food first.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you supplement, as the word says, supplement your diet. But I feel like we are in a world of like, what are you taking? What are you taking? What do I need to add? And sometimes like, I love Healf a lot, but sometimes I go on Healf and I'm like,
you could be there for hours.
What should I add in?
Yeah.
Like a shopping list.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, actually, what do I need?
Yeah.
Rather than what should I add in? So what's your thoughts on it?
I think it really depends, because as Rianne said, you can't out supplement a bad diet realistically, but also supplements aren't the answer to everything. And I think we live in a world now where if you're thinking, you know, I'll just eat whatever and just take this supplement, that'll be fine. It doesn't work like that. It's not a food, because a supplement can't give you fiber that a broccoli can, or vice versa. I think with the way that technology is going, we are moving in a direction where people are waking up to the idea that supplements should be individual. You know, Healf, for an example, they've just brought on Healf Zone, which is like the personalized blood testing to understand what your supplements actually are and what you need. But at the same time, we can then also enter this world of like, yeah, but then which supplement do I take? And, you know, it becomes very overwhelming. And as someone who works directly with clients, I have never done a what I eat in a day video. I don't think they're a bad thing. I think actually I love watching them. I think it's so cool and so interesting. But what I eat will be so different to what you eat. And the reason I eat my diet is because I have certain health conditions or things that I'm working on that you might not be. And it's the same with supplements as well. You know, just because I take this specific brand of magnesium doesn't mean it's the same one for you. And magnesium is the perfect example because I use a glycinate because I'm working on nervous system and stress, but then someone else might use citrate because they want to work on their bowel motility. And even things like that, like give some context to why you're using it, and it makes it so much more understandable and make it make sense. But yeah, I think we are slowly transitioning into a world of like personalization, and things like Healf Zone and Neko Health and things like that are really showing that. But I think we're just on the tip of the iceberg.
I agree, because at the moment it comes with a high price point. It's quite inaccessible. People might be like, oh, I'll just grab what I think I need because like I don't have the time or can't afford or don't want to spend my money on that because I'm fine. Like, I'm sure I can work it out myself.
Completely. And I think as well, like with social media, it's sometimes a case of, oh, I'll just do whatever that person's doing. And don't get me wrong, I will very openly say I do share supplement brands and things like that. I work with brands to share different supplements and things like that. But just because I'm taking it doesn't mean you need to be as well. And just because that man looks like you doesn't mean that you should be, and just because that girl you want to look like takes it doesn't mean it'll be working for you. And that's where the credible source and like working with a practitioner or someone like that is going to be really beneficial.
No, completely agree. So we have a few trends to like,
and you're gonna make me debunk them.
Yay or nay, basically.
Lovely.
So creatine.
Oh, good one. Again, it's such a difficult one. Yay, if used in the right context. So I think there's a lot of noise around whether creatine is suitable for women. I'm sure Rianne will be a testament to this because she has just brought out an incredible new creatine, which I've actually been trialing recently. Creatine, yay, love, really, really great. But just think about why you're using it. If you're someone who's very active, wanting to build muscle, gain strength, absolutely fantastic. But if you're someone that's quite prone to issues with like kidneys, liver, or water retention, might not be the ideal one for you. But again, make sure you're going for a good quality one as well.
The
monohydrous something, I can't remember, it's on my brain, is the best.
So you are trying Artas. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I really like it.
So do I.
With the Arta one, I was really not sure because I am someone who can't take creatine usually. I do swell very quickly and that kind of thing. But I was like, oh, I'm not too sure. And then when Rianne told me about it, I was like, go on, then I'll give it a go. And I do use it if I'm doing a strength session. I find it very useful. And my younger sister, who is very into weightlifting and things like that, I gave her a pouch and she's trying it as well. But yeah, and also I trust what Rianne's doing.
I do as well. And like I like the idea of like the tone element, and like I think that sometimes we can do all this work. Like I gymmed every day for as long as I can remember. And sometimes you're like, I just can't look the same.
What do you do in the gym? I'm fascinated to know. Are you like a weights girl or you're a cardio girl?
Strength and Pilates.
Nice.
I do both. So I try and run at least once a week. Has been hard recently because my knees a little bit.
Of course.
From the marathon. But it's okay. We're getting through
it. We need to get some red light on that.
We do. We're getting through it. Then I'll probably split between half Pilates and half strength. So I'll try and get a class in there somewhere. So it'll be one run, one class, more mat Pilates, and then the rest kind of like strength.
Lovely.
Yeah, that's my kind of split. What about you?
I'm kind of the same actually. I was never a runner. I think I've told you this before. But I sometimes get the craving to go for a run.
For the mental
like support, but also you're outside. And sometimes I find, you know, I'm not someone, I will occasionally go to like a really intense underground flashing lights dark class, but that's for the endorphins. But I would never go if I'm feeling stressed because it's going to stress my body out more. But I'm such a walker. I love walking. I go for a walk every single day for my green time, for the screen time. But I'm very much a maybe strength once or twice a week, yoga to stretch my body out, especially because I'm doing a fair few long haul flights at the moment and my back does not love that.
No.
So I'm doing a lot of like stretching and things like that. And then, yeah, like cardio as and when I fancy it.
Yeah.
First half of the cycle, never the second half as well.
Yeah, that's quite good. I'm getting better at that, but I used to be a big hit girl. Like I love
it's
to
hard to unlearn it as well.
Yeah. I love to like sweat. I love to like run like far. And I kind of like, I love pushing myself to the extreme. Like love Barry's, like get me in there, like sprinting. But I've noticed that I'm really enjoying the kind of slower Pilates as well, and my body's reacting well to it too.
I think there's a place for it in any aspect. Like my friend and I, when I used to go into the Healf office a lot, Lindy and I would be like, oh, let's go to One Rebel and then go to the office. But I'd have to make sure, okay, well, my body needs to be feeling calm and rested before I do that, because otherwise I'm going to be on adrenaline all day.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be like wired and like not able to enjoy it. So that would also maybe be something that I'd maybe do at the weekend, because I'm calm and relaxed and I can go and do it with a friend and we can go and get a smoothie afterwards and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you have to just listen to your body. And sometimes I'll book like a really intense class for a Saturday morning, wake up and go, I'm just exhausted, and then just not do it.
Yeah.
Because the walk is going to be better for me realistically. So
no, it's so good. Listen to your body. Okay, gummies.
Oh, the convenience of them is really appealing, but 9 times out of 10 they've just got so much sugar in. And it's not to say that sugar's a bad thing, it is really, but I just think if you're going to take something, you want it to be a good dose, and 9 times out of 10 the gummies don't have a good enough dose in them.
Agree.
Because they've put so many fillers and sweeteners and things like that in them.
Yeah.
If you're going to take a blend of a supplement, just take the supplement.
I agree.
Sorry.
I'm not a gummy fan. They bloat me. They're artificial.
This is the thing.
I'm like, what's in that?
Yeah.
Why is it sweet? I want to take
I think it
supplement.
started originally when like there was like those hair gummies or something.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, I take my hair gummies. And I remember being like, but surely that's just like having a Haribo.
Yeah.
Like
It's
just
not a health product.
No, it's just take the capsule.
Yeah.
And nowadays, you know, there are brands that are doing a really good job of like making them with like lower sugar or sugar alternatives. But my argument is like, well, do you want it because it's a sweet, or do you want it because it's going to do well for your health? Because if you want a sweet, eat a sweet. And if you want a supplement, eat a supplement.
Yeah, like this hybrid isn't working.
Exactly.
Agree. Okay, greens powders.
I like to see them as an insurance policy. If you know you're not going to have a like green day, for example, I always take these little sachet green powders from Organifi with me when I'm traveling, purely for the fact that if I'm flying, my body is going to need more like greens anyway. But also, if you're on a family holiday, 9 times out of 10, you're not eating your normal diet, but you will probably feel quite sluggish as a result of not. So I kind of just have them as like my insurance policy on a day that I don't eat many greens. And I'll just be like, oh, sure, like got them in. But are they the answer that's going to make you feel amazing and completely change your life? Probably not.
Yeah.
As I said before, you're not going to get the same fibre of a greens powder out of a broccoli.
No, but if you're having one of those days when you are on holiday, you've had a brunch, and you go out for dinner, and it's been more social and not very green heavy, then
find a way to put it in that way. But yeah, I wouldn't rely on them as being like the answer to everything.
Yeah, agree.
Sorry.
Agree. And also, if you're hungover, could be a good way to get more nutrients in if you're struggling.
And also, you know, when I was in clinic, quite a lot of the time, and I'd have clients that would come to me that had never even eaten a vegetable, I'd be like, okay, while we try and sneak some vegetables in, maybe we just bring green powder in for the time being. And like mums that are struggling to get nutrients into their children, I'd maybe be like, oh, maybe just add it in just as and when, because you can get some quite nice tasting ones, but they are very much a supplement. They are not like,
don't eat
I just
McDonald's.
won't eat broccoli. Yeah, it's fine. And especially with the whole like meat and 2 veg thing, add another vegetable.
Yeah, completely.
Sorry.
Eat the food, not the powder.
Exactly. Yeah. It tastes nicer as well.
Yeah, agree. And I'm also like, I don't believe you actually are getting all that's on the back of the powder in. I'm slightly skeptical.
And sometimes as well in the powder, they just put like the powdered
version.
Like the powdered broccoli, for example, because they're obviously not going to be able to like juice it and all that kind of stuff. So it's just not the same. You don't get it. And also a lot of the benefits that come from vegetables come from the chewing action of them. It comes from the fact that it's like roughage. You know, you're not going to get, again, fiber. You're not going to get indole 3 carbinol, which is what works on your livers from drinking a powder.
Yeah.
But you will get it from crunching it.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Okay, castor oil.
I love castor oil. However, it's become one of those things that, again, is very much like, it works for everything. I have Indian heritage, so we would use it on eyelashes, in our hair, like all those different things. And I think it's fantastic for that. Mm-hmm. However, this whole thing of like taking it orally, not very healthy.
No, I've not seen that.
People are doing like a spoonful of it, and yeah, your bowel won't love you for that. No. There's also the trend of putting it in your belly button, which I can get on board with a little bit, because that's very much an Ayurvedic type ritual where people would put it into the belly button, and then the idea of it is that it then goes into your intestines and makes your intestines a bit slippery.
Right.
So that, can work, but again, edge with caution. Don't do it every single day, because your body needs to get used to it. Mm-hmm. And then there's castor oil packs, which people put on their liver. With the castor oil packs, I remember when we were lectured on it at uni, someone got it up on the screen and I went, that would never work. And then anecdotally, I tried it, obviously, and I realized actually, no, it does work. There is just no clinical science backing behind it. It's a ideology. It's an Ayurvedic principle that has just grown and become so like interesting. But I have a castor oil pack from the brand Queen of Thrones. Get it on Healf. And they have like a roller, so it's not messy. Like, it's really, really nice. But yeah, just edge on the side of caution. And if you're someone that has like no bowel problems, don't be taking it orally and think it's going to solve all your issues.
That's bizarre. Yeah. I'm not going to be doing that.
Please don't.
No, people are shotting oil nowadays.
They are. I think
olive oil is
olive
good.
oil, I was going to say. Yeah. So what the idea behind that is that it binds to the toxins because it's a fat. So a lot of people do it before they have alcohol, because they're like, well, it's going to make my bile ducts bind to the toxins and help me eliminate it. There's method in the madness. But do you want to be shotting olive oil every day? Possibly not.
No. I am an MCT oil lover.
Yeah. Would you put it like in your coffee and things like that? Yeah.
I'm just addicted.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Which one do you use?
I'm Hunter and Gather.
Nice.
And it's just so, I get it on Healf as well.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's just like, makes the coffee more satiating, really helps with metabolism, really helps with energy, really helps like everything just feels stable. I can't really have coffee without it now.
Yeah. I think it's like going back to when we were saying about the collagen making it like frothy. I think it's that element of it, but also because it's a fat, it's kind of like stabilizing your cortisol, because a lot of the time people stop having coffee because they're like, it just spikes my cortisol. It makes me wired. It makes me stressed and tired. But by adding the fat or protein to it, it kind of stabilizes it. If you imagine that coffee is going to make your cortisol go like that, this kind of makes it go.
Yeah.
Which is so much nicer on the body. Completely. Especially for females.
Yeah. And taking ashwagandha. I take that in the morning. If I'm, okay, we keep talking about drinking. I'm not an alcoholic.
I know, I was going to say, we don't actually drink that much.
No, it's summer, and like if we're drinking more and you're feeling more anxious in the morning and you know that your coffee is going to make you feel jittery.
Yeah.
Have ashwagandha and you're...
That's interesting. So with ashwagandha, I have really mixed views on it.
Oh,
some people get more, including myself, get more wired on ashwagandha.
Interesting.
I haven't dug into the research on it just yet, but I know it's one of those that it can either be absolutely game-changing, which it is for my sister, or it can make you more wired.
Interesting.
In those instances, I would go with lemon balm.
Okay.
I'm a lemon balm girl. The BioCare Calm Complex supplement, which is like lemon balm, I'm going to mess this up now, lemon balm, magnesium glycinate, and I think rhodiola, calms me right down. And I've with clients and people, whenever I've said like, oh, if ashwagandha doesn't work for you, maybe try this, it works better. I need to dive into why that is the case.
That's
but
really
it's really fascinating.
Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, thoughts on consuming organs and liver?
Oh, okay. So there's so many videos around the carnivore diet at the moment.
Yeah.
I think the premise of it is fantastic because you're using a actual food as a multivitamin. You think about the amount of nutrient deficiencies that we get these days. Having something like an organic liver or whatever is going to be really rich in vitamin A, really lovely in minerals and healthy fats and protein. But how frequently we do it is the important part, because I think there's a world now where people are having like steak for breakfast, burgers for lunch, and organ meats for dinner. And that is a little bit extreme in my opinion. And the other thing is as well is that these are the types of organ meats, especially the type of foods that you want to make sure are the highest quality and organic. If you think about what the liver does, it detoxes. So it's going to have anything that's toxic that animal has eaten will be stored in that liver, or will be like somewhere in there. So if you're just buying really, really cheap liver, they're not going to have been fed the best thing.
No, that's awful.
Yeah, so always go organic when you're buying organ meats. Organic, there you go.
Yeah.
But just be mindful. Like, if you're someone that wants to start including more vitamin A and foods like that into your diet, then definitely go for it. I always go with the food first approach, but it's also quite expensive to be buying organic meat all the time. So that might be where supplementing or something like that could come in handy. There's also a brand called Organized, which do a really, really lovely like organ blend, and they also put collagen in there and organic honey. And Niall, the founder of it, is a friend of mine, and when I see what he eats, I understand why the product is so pure and amazing.
Yeah. So have you consumed Organized?
Yes, I do. I use it quite a bit.
I've got some, and like I'm like nervous,
so
but I'm excited at the same time.
What I love about it is
I'm like,
oh, of course, yeah,
this is a huge step.
Yeah. Well, me being allergic to dairy, I was like, am I going to be okay with it? Because it's got colostrum in it.
Yeah.
Which obviously is like a dairy part. And I'm actually fine with it. When he sent it to me, I was like, I'm going to have half a teaspoon, then a half teaspoon, like, and then a full teaspoon, and then build my way up. And I'm actually fine with it.
How do you drink it? Do you put it in a smoothie?
I put it in a smoothie. I have like a little kind of, either I'll put it in like a post-workout like smoothie, or I'll have like an afternoon snack of like something quite chunky, like cacao powder, milk, banana, Organized powder, and it's very filling because it's organ meats at the end of the day. But what I really like about that one is you can't taste it, like the organs.
That's what I think.
I've had others when you open the bag and it's beefy, and I'm like, I can't go anywhere near it. No. Whereas that, I feel like I could put it with like some berries and chocolate, and I'm like, yummy.
Yeah. Would you use it as like a protein powder?
Yeah, I sometimes would add a protein powder as well as, especially if I've done a workout, for example. But yeah, Niall's built it to be like the equivalent of a protein powder. Yeah. And some of the recipes that they have on their Instagram feed as well are absolutely incredible.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to try it.
Yeah.
I'm going away in August for like 3 weeks. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring that with
me. Take it with you.
Mine.
Yeah, exactly.
See how I feel. I'm away. Good time to trial it.
Also, I've heard so many people, I actually haven't taken it for long enough, but have said their hair from taking it has been like really strong, and also their skin, because vitamin A for your skin, if you think about retinol, that's from vitamin A. And we apply it topically, but no one ever thinks about how much of it you're eating. And interestingly enough, when I worked with like acne clients, 9 times out of 10 their blood test would show vitamin A deficiency. So things like that is really, really important. And for your hair growth, like it's just like the building blocks of healthy scalp. So
yeah. Oh my God, I'm excited.
Yeah.
We have a final question.
Okay.
Which is, what is in your handbag? What's in your handbag today?
Gosh. I mean, today's a really bad example because
I love it.
I'm running around with meetings and stuff, but let me have a look.
Have a little browse.
Okay, I have a cap, but it's not a green time before screen time cap, but it is a cap.
It is a cap. We like that.
The reason being is Route 66 California.
Love.
I am going back to California next week.
Love that.
The reason being is, so again, with the whole acne thing, I had hyperpigmentation, so I try and keep my face out of the sun. For context, it's 32 degrees in London today. It's quite hot.
It's hot.
So I try and keep my face out of the sun as much as possible, but I'm going to have to stop buying caps because I have about 15 different ones.
I love it.
But anyway.
But it's okay.
I have my laptop in here.
Yeah, nice.
I have my notebook.
Yeah.
What else do I have in here? I have a sachet of Humantra electrolytes.
What flavour? Bring it out.
I have the lemon and lime one, I think it is.
Okay, nice.
Yep, lemon and lime. I have the Merit foundation stick.
Oh, love.
Really, really like that.
Do you like that one?
I bought it recently. I love the Merit foundation stick and I love the Ilia concealer.
Nice.
They're my 2 go-to.
Okay, nice. I have milk concealer and I've just bought Westman Atelier tinted serum. Highly recommend.
Really? I'm very much like no makeup type person, so I quite like that.
The tinted.
What else do I have in here?
I don't think I own foundation.
No, I don't.
No.
I remember when I was at school, I used to wear Estee Lauder double wear foundation and I used to reapply it in the toilets. That's how like conscious I was of my acne at the time. Now I literally go out with like a bit of concealer under my eyes or over my scarring and I'm like, right, good to go. Oh, I've got my digestive bitters.
Nice. When do you take those?
Before I eat.
Every time?
if I'm eating in a way that is not mindful, always.
Love that.
Because digestion starts when you sit down and like look at the food, smell the food.
Does that stop you bloating then?
Yeah. So these are the Quicksilver scientific ones. As you can see, they're like absolutely battered because they're chucked in my bag from Healf.
Maybe I need to add this.
But yeah, love these. The other ones that are really nice that I also quite love is digestive juice from Organic Olivia, also on Healf. So yeah, really love those. Here's my electrolytes.
Love it. Yeah.
What else do I have in it? It's a classic like girl bag. Yeah, everything's just chucked.
Everything chucked, a bit of everything. But I love it.
I have like a little bag of like inflammatone. Like I don't even know what that is.
I love it.
Some eye mist.
Oh.
I get really dry eyes when I wear contact lenses.
Fine, there you go.
These are from the eye doctor. And they've got pro vitamin B5 in them, which is really hydrating for the eyes. So if you're staring at your screen all day.
Love that.
Got my glasses, and I, of course, have got my Healf Lark water bottle.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
That's everything in my bag.
I love it.
So I told you it was a bit chaotic.
We love a bit of chaos. Elle, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been so much fun.
On all of things wellness. It's been so insightful.
Always.
I love it. Well, thank you for coming.
So good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys so much for listening, and I really hope you enjoyed that episode as much as I did. For more nutrition talk, next week we are joined by Sophie Bertrand, who is a nutritionist and also brought up her children plant-based. So we are going to be digging into all of that next week. So if you're keen to hear that episode, then make sure to click that follow button wherever you're listening to your podcast so you get notified when the episode goes live next Tuesday. Thank you guys so much again, and see you next week.